Welcome back, my queens. If you are here to Kiki with us.
Yeah.
Yay! We are here to Kiki and spill the tea on RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 13, Episode 3,
Phenomenal.
Phenomenon. Phenomenon and on and on.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go through and recap this, but it's going to be quick. And we're going to tell you what we thought of the episode. After we kind of recap this stuff. But just so you guys know, this episode is a repeat basically of last week's episode. It's almost copy and paste
Yeah.
because
Oh,
it's the exact same themes and everything, except they changed the song. Last week, the girls did a group remix to Congratulations, whereas now tonight the groups did a remix to Phenomenon, to RuPaul's Phenomenon.
mhm.
So they still do the Lady and the Vamp runway or fashion show. I'm sorry, Lady and the Vamp fashion show where they have to do a lady by day outfit and a vamp by night or a whore by night, as Rue said.
Mhm.
And then they have to, then we have their final runway that we'll discuss that. And that's, the theme this time for runway was sheer, whereas last
Mhm.
week, I don't remember exactly.
It was,
It was something similar, but a different one.
yeah, and I can't think of it right now.
It'll come to me, and then I'll be like, guys, guess what? But yeah, so we are going to go ahead and start with this.
However, let's do this first. I am DeWanda.
I'm Irish Melly.
That is Irish Melly. For anyone who doesn't know who we are,
We're awesome. So you guys want to come back and check us out and hang out with us? We are two of a foursome here. There's actually four of us at Late Night Snacks. So we are one half of Late Night Snacks.
Yes.
Sometimes you will see us all together. Sometimes you'll get one of us. Sometimes you get three. Sometimes you get two. Sometimes you get four. Whatever. It's going to be switched up sometimes because just like all of you guys, we all have lives too. So, so we will be here to bring you the chaos. And if you guys want more RuPaul coverage, please give this video a big thumbs up because it lets us know that you guys enjoy the coverage we're bringing to you. And it helps our algorithm on YouTube. So it really helps our channel a lot. And we greatly appreciate it. Every thumbs up, we appreciate. If you want a thumbs down, we don't want you to, but we appreciate that too, because at least it's something. And if you guys want more RuPaul coverage, we have covered many more seasons of RuPaul from All Stars to Canada. And we will be covering UK, which started this past Thursday, but we will be covering the premiere episode of UK tomorrow on Saturday. And then after that, UK comes on Thursdays. So we will cover UK on the following Monday after it airs. So with that, let's jump in.
Yep.
Spill the tea, sis.
Yeah, I know.
Spill it.
As we said, this is pretty much a cookie cutter of the last episode that we saw, just with a different song. And we now get to
see different group, different people. But it's all the same challenges, the same ideas.
Yeah, it's the second group of queens that we get to see now, which are Denali and who else?
We have Denali Fox. We have here, let me make sure I count them all. Denali Fox. We have Tamisha Aman, which I am a huge fan of Tamisha. I love Tamisha. I'm not usually a big fan of the motherly figures who come in. I feel like they hover over the girls too much, but I love Tamisha. She's not doing any of that, but she's still being positive for them.
Yeah.
Then we had Kamora Hall.
Kamora Hall. We have Utica
Queen. And who am I forgetting? Rose. Yes, Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, yeah, it wasn't a whole. I didn't totally dislike the episode. I just thought it was.
It was kind of. It was exactly. It was nothing spectacular. It was not phenomenal.
No, it wasn't.
But I think this episode would have been better had they made an extended episode of last week and done them in the same episode. where we got to see the first group do Congratulations, and now we get to see this one do Phenomenon. But we're watching the exact same episode over again. So and honestly, this episode was not as good, in my opinion, as Congratulations episode 2. No. I thought the performances were a little better. I thought the outfits were a little better. I thought the confidence was a little better. And I understand this is our losers club, as they've, dubbed them. And I get, being a little bit in your own head and possibly, being down on yourself and thinking, oh, I came here and look, I'm not even showing what I can do. I already lost my first lip sync. I'm going to go home. So I understand all the emotional roller coaster of it, but it's just,
I personally want to get back into the meat and potatoes of what this show really is.
Yes. And it looks like, and we'll tell you more at the end of the stream about that, but it looks like next week we should be getting that. We'll start, because I'm just going to tell you now, there was no elimination this week, just like there wasn't last week, because it's the same episode. Yep. But we know that we're going to start with eliminations next week.
Yay.
And we get to get into some of like the fun challenges and stuff, like where they do like the fortune teller challenge and do your own brand and things like that. These are always really fun. So I'm excited to get on.
And another thing is, we didn't really get a lot of drama this episode at all.
No. Kind of well, the last episode didn't have a lot of drama either, with Congratulations. So I get it because of the way they're doing it. But there was still moments, because we had this moment during their rehearsal session when they're trying to put their choreography together to do Phenomenon. And Tamisha has just kind of sat back and not said anything. And remember, Tamisha's the older one of the group. Tamisha's the mother, literally the mother of the group, because she has her own house of, her own dynasty. And she has many drag babies and biological children, as they talk about in this episode, which was cool. Mm-hmm. But Tamisha kind of sat back and didn't want to say anything. Come to find out, Tamisha is a choreographer. But so is Denali, so is Rose, and so is Joey J. So there was our drama. That was our drama. It wasn't really even drama, but it was kind of comical. It was like, okay, let's see who's going to take the reins. And everybody's going every which way.
Yes, otherwise known as too many cooks in the kitchen. Yes.
Yes. And, but Tamisha sits back and doesn't say anything. Tamisha kind of keeps to herself, and she's like, I'm going to work out what they're doing. And she's like, I don't know what they're doing, but we're going to do this. And then finally she speaks up and does something. And we had that same thing happen last week. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we did.
It was the exact same thing with Congratulations when they were doing the choreography and everything. So it was just, it was cool to see Tamisha finally speak up and not get out of her head some, I think, because I don't think she gives herself enough credit. I think she's amazing. I am a big Tamisha fan, but I don't think she believes in herself as much. I think she's getting in her own head. She's thinking I'm too old, or I'm the oldest one of this group. She mentioned that at one time, and she doesn't think her drag is as great. But then there's other times where she goes, I've been doing this 30 years, honey. You with the best in the game. And it's like, she has that confidence when she talks to the other queens. When she's doing her interviews or talking to herself, so to speak, she doesn't have that confidence. So she's exuding confidence, which is great, because she doesn't want that to be seen as a weakness to the other queens, which is smart. It's a competition after all. Remember that. They may say we're all sisters and we're drag sisters and we're in this, but it's still a competition.
And the interesting thing also is, with all of those choreographers that they had dealing with this challenge, you would have thought that their choreography would have been a hell of a lot
better. Honestly, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but again, if we're comparing it to last week's performance with the group that did their song, that was phenomenal. But this week, it was not phenomenal. It was kind of like, oh, I've seen this already, but it's like a watered down version of what we've already seen. So it just, I would have liked it if they would have give it a little more oomph, just because, for the viewer anyway, because we are watching the same episode. It's like, if I wanted to watch the same episode, I'd just go on demand or, whatever, and watch it on my cable provider. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
And now we can kind of move on to the fashion part of it, where
And there were some cute outfits.
There were, yeah.
Nothing
were
phenomenal,
no,
but
like
they were some cute ones.
They didn't pull out all the stops on this one, and you would think that they would. You know, this being
the first group did.
This being technically their first runway, and they're finally doing this in front of the judges, where they finally get to see what they can do with a sewing machine. And honestly, I wasn't that impressed.
No. Well, and speaking of sewing machine, we found out this episode that Tamisha makes all of her own outfits, all of her garments. And oh my God, looking at like her runway dress, you would not have known she made that dress. I know you weren't a big fan of the bow.
No,
it was very elegant and pretty. It wasn't something you'd wear out to a normal dinner party, but it's something you would wear to maybe like the Met Gala or something. I could see that. Mm-hmm. But it was beautifully cut. It fit her perfectly. Like every sequin was perfectly shiny. It seemed like this was like a $1,200 dress. And come to find out, Misha made this dress and makes all of her clothes.
I'm not saying I didn't love I loved the dress. I just didn't.
The color was great on her.
I just didn't.
It was like a champagne color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and because I did love her dress. The runway dress that I did not like was Rosé's dress.
Yes, let's talk about Rosé's dress.
Let's talk about that.
Rosé comes out, and you can't really tell what it is at first, material-wise.
Yeah.
It's kind of a light blue, like translucent blue, and then it's like a translucent kind of purple. I think there was like hints of green. But come to find out, she's wearing recycled plastic bottles.
It's plastic. Yeah.
And the outfit wasn't horrible if it would have been executed a little bit differently. I think the over-the-top shoulder with the plastic fringe material, too much. It didn't look right. It didn't fit her silhouette. The judges liked it, which was weird. Okay. I expected Ross or Michelle to tear it a new one.
Ross kind of did.
Oh, and we didn't mention our guest judge this week. Why is it skipping my head?
Don't look at me. You normally
Cheryl, right?
Huh?
Who? And see, now how do I not know this? Okay, so anyway, you continue talking about the runway.
Yeah, that was the dress.
Oh, Nicole Byer. Sorry, it just came.
There we go. Nicole Byer. Yeah.
Comedian and actress Nicole Byer, and she's hilarious. I love her.
Yeah, but that was the dress that I was the most disappointed with. It was like, really,
and the colors didn't look right on her either, and not with her signature pink hair. Her signature light pink hair. It just. And I want to see a different color from Rosé too. I get that it's her signature and all that. But we also heard from the judges to Joey J, why aren't you wearing a wig? And she said, because that's Joey's big thing. I don't wear a wig and I'm not apologetic for it.
And I remember what Michelle actually said on that, which was, I understand that you don't want to wear a wig, but we still want to see what you can bring. We want to see what you can do. So you need to basically show us something different.
Yeah.
Basically is what they're saying. Because she came out with 4 different looks. And yes, they were different looks, but they were like all cookie cutter and all the same. But in different.
They were similar, very similar. Utica. Let's talk about Utica.
Oh, I love Utica.
Utica, I think Utica was the star of this episode. Overall, with the Lady in the Vamp challenge, mini challenge, with the runway, with the performance. I love Tamisha's performance. Let's talk about that too. When we talk about their lyrics and what they came up with. Because remember, they had to write their own lyrics and they had to choreograph this routine and figure it all out within like a day's time. So, but Tamisha rapped and so did Utica. Yeah, and they both kind of stole the show. I don't think the judges pointed it out as much, but when you watch it, they really hold that stage and they captivate you. they hold the audience.
And I just love Utica to death. I mean, it's like, can I just like watch her? I don't want to watch anyone else.
Utica's the one you're like, come be my best friend, please. I need to cry. Hold me.
Oh my God. She's
and now Utica's outfit, excuse me, Utica's outfit for the performance, I was telling DeWanda here that it reminded me of like what's his name? Not Randy, the Ultimate Warrior, the wrestler from the 80s and early 90s. If you guys remember, if you're around that age frame, you would know. But yeah, he always wore like neon colors, and neon fringe would hang off of him. And that's what we got from Utica, was all the bright, vibrant colors, the neon colors. But we got a lot of fringe and everything.
Yeah. Although my favorite look of hers was the gothic look, that
the vamp look, the Nite look. Yeah,
that was beautiful.
It was so different and out of the box, but it was very dark and creepy. You know, it was great. I think Utica took the idea and ran with it the right way.
She reminds me a lot of Crystal Method, and Crystal Method. I love Crystal Method.
A little bit. I get the Evie Oddly from her too.
Yeah,
we all love Evie. So you know who. Why wouldn't you love Utica? She comes in with a smile and she just wants to hug everybody. She's like, we're all friends. It's all right. I love you. You know what it is? Utica's the hippie of the group.
Yeah, but I just, she's right now, she's my favorite of all of them. It's like, oh, can we just like
Utica's up there for me. But I'm kind of torn right now between Tamisha and Olivia. I really like Olivia. Yeah. I think Olivia's going to win Miss Congeniality. If she doesn't get eliminated too soon here, I think she'll end up winning Miss Congeniality. Or Utica might, but I think it's going to go to Olivia. That's just my prediction. But yeah, so then we find out, we already know there's going to be no eliminations, even though the girls don't know that, and they go, da, 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 and we're like, we already know. But, so Rue picks the top two, and we get Rose and Denali.
Yep.
And then they find out that they're going to lip sync for the win.
For the win, yes.
For $5,000. So they do their lip sync, and it was Britney Spears, Seeking Amy. And I love that song. It's such a thumper. Like, it makes you move your foot. Seriously, it keeps you moving. But they both did pretty good. Although, let's say Rose took more of a comical approach to her performance, whereas Denali had more of like a straight up Britney Spears type of performance. But they were both pretty good. However,
Denali ended up winning.
Denali did it better.
Denali ended up winning that, which was deserved. She
won $5,000, and nobody was eliminated. Yay!
So we still have 13. So we still have 13 queens.
Yes, but we did get previews for next week's episode where the girls are going to come in after they find out that nobody's eliminated. It's the workroom where all the other girls are sitting waiting for them. So we're going to get everybody together.
Finally.
We're going to have a big fucking kumbaya. And they're going to say, oh, no, we're winners. Y'all are losers. We can't be with you. The same way they did to Elliot when Elliot first came in. They're going to treat all the other girls that way. You can tell by the shit they already talk when they don't even know these girls.
I know.
So, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be really fun next week. Like we were saying, we're going to get into some fun mini challenges. The little bit that I saw of outfits for next week looks really good. So, but we're bringing all the queens together. We'll finally have all of them in the same room together without being eliminated.
And it's finally after 3 weeks. It's finally
we'll have an elimination.
We're finally going to get back to the bread and butter of what this show is actually about.
I can't wait.
So I'm looking forward to that.
But that's it. That's
we want to add anything else before we go. But basically that's the show in a nutshell.
Yeah. So I will say I have been Irish Melly. She has been DeWanda. We are one half of Late Night Snacks. We love you. We love you for being here. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to someone else. See you guys. Bye.
We'll see you guys in the